Hello and welcome back to the 7th episode of Guruwar Gupshup with Garima, where we promise to introduce you to people who are so riveting that they will not only tickle us, but also inspire us. And today it is my great honor to introduce a celebrity guest on our show. She is a youth icon, a politician, a social visionary. Please meet Shweta Shalini.
Hi, Garima ji, and thank you so much. This Guruwar Gupshup concept seems to be amazing. And especially with you doing it, I'm sure I'm looking forward for a lot of fun.
Thank you so much. So are we. And I'm sure that when I introduce all the work that you do, that will be eye opening for people. But it's the person that you are, behind under the hood, which is for me the most amazing, incredible part, because a person like you is, whichever field she chooses, going to go miles. So, first off, आप खुद अपने आप को कैसे देखती हैं? What is your own one line identification for yourself?
In fact, when I introduce myself, I don't use one-liners. I use words because that's how small I am and that's how small my work is. But these words are very, very powerful. So I always say that I'm a woman, I'm a mother, I'm an Indian, and I'm extremely proud of being all of it in that order.
Yeah.
So primarily, आप यही तीन चीज अगर बहुत अच्छी तरीके से हो जाऊं मैं, then I think I'm going to be the best at what I am. Because being a woman itself is a pride. Being a mother is amazing because it just teaches you so much. I think the moment I became a mother, I realized how selfless service is a reality. And now, I look at it in a very, very motherly fashion to a lot of things, including politics. And being Indian, again, I think is a privilege, which a lot of people miss. So I think these three words is bang on, and that's enough for anyone's introduction.
So बस आज we are going to talk about all of them one after the other. पर पहले मुझे आप एक बात बताएं, आपकी मम्मा ने क्या खाया था आपको पैदा करने के लिए? But seriously, like, what was your upbringing like? What was your childhood like? I've met your parents. What was so special about the way you were raised?
See, I'll tell you. You are a parenting expert, so I'm sure a lot of people who follow you, are looking up to you, are listening to this gupshup, would really want to know the answer to this question. And the answer to this question is, see, my parents brought me up as an individual. They told me that they were always proud to have me. Second, they always wanted a child like me, and the aspiration of everything that they were and they wanted to be. So I always looked into my mother's eyes and felt that she made me everything that she was. She's a homemaker. She's extremely intelligent. She is a very, very strong woman. She's extremely decisive, but there were a lot of things that she wasn't, and she made me everything that she was and she wasn't. And that's how parenting is. You create individuals and give them the space to grow and give them the confidence that the moment you fall, get up. Because if you need help to get up, I'm there to hold you. And that is what I got from my parents. My father, when I was very, very young, he taught me this, that he used to recite a poem, and he would say, तुम रजनी की चांद बनोगी या दिन की मार्तंड प्रखर. रजनी इज रात, तुम रजनी की चांद बनने वाली हो या दिन की मार्तंड प्रखर, दिन की सूरज बनने वाली. एक बात है मुझे पूछनी, फूल बनोगी या पत्थर. नकली क्रीम फुल कंघी से नकली रूप सजाओगी या असली तेज लहू का आनंद पर चमकाओगी. So basically, this is the upbringing that I had. The individuality which said that the true purpose of life is within you. Beautiful is what beautiful does. My father आज भी मुझे कहते हैं कि आप अपने कर्म से अपनी परिभाषा लिखते हो. So that is the kind of upbringing that I've got, and I'm extremely proud of it. My father was a soldier. He was an army man. So मुझे ये सिखाया कि nation is everything, nation is first. And my father used to say that a soldier is not somebody who goes on the borders and fights for the country. एक चौकीदार भी अपना काम अगर बहुत अच्छा करे तो देश के लिए सिपाही बन सकता है. So देश का सिपाही बनना बहुत बहुत जरूरी है. And that's where that nationalist flavor comes from. Uh, the charm of being a woman is extremely important, and my mother comes from that upbringing. So she taught me how beautiful strong women are, people who can take decisions, who can stand up on their feet, who can think on their feet, yet understand the importance of home, relationships, families, friends. And I personally feel that I've had a perfect childhood.
How amazing is that? Already there are so many things in this which are new but so inspiring. It's almost like I'm reading Nirala's poem or something. So just listening to you, it's inspiring. And so this fearlessness that I hear from you, and all the episodes that you narrate to us, yeah, can we give an example to people, because I know so many places. Could you narrate some place which you've been in a really, really difficult, maybe threatening situation, and you've been so fearless?
I did my engineering, and post my engineering, I'm an MBA graduate. I joined a multinational company. तो मैं वहां से शुरुआत करती हूँ आपको. एक कंपनी का नाम है जिसका नाम एटलस कॉपको है. They would never employ a woman, and at that point of time they were deciding to they were under pressure of doing something called as gender diversity. और इसलिए they were interviewing women. I did my first interview, second interview, third interview, fourth interview, and of course I didn't know that they were focusing on taking a woman. So on my fifth interview with the general manager, who was the top boss there, I told him, boss, what the hell, आप मुझे बार बार बुलाते क्यों रहते हो? आपको लेना है तो लीजिए, नहीं लेना तो आप मुझे बता दीजिए कि नहीं लेना है. So he turned around and quite sheepishly told me that नहीं, वो actually क्या है बेटा, that I was young, fresher, and he was old. And he told me that बेटा ऐसा है कि आज तक हमने किसी महिला को लिया ही नहीं. So in all the interviews that you have been able to clear, people have given me a feedback by saying that if there is one woman that you need to take, it is her.
Wow.
So I have been wanting to check कि ऐसा क्या है आप में कि आप ये काम कर सकते हो. I said, sir, the only thing that is there in me is that I'm proud to be a woman, and I feel that talent has no gender. And I would not want to join a position just because either I'm a man or a woman. If you like my talent, you take me. If you don't like my talent, you tell me today that please don't come back. Of course, I got that job. I stayed with them for about 8 years. I changed my visiting card 6 times, which means I changed roles 6 times and got promoted every time. But the best thing, गरिमा जी आपको बताऊं, best thing ये है कि आज I think 18-19 साल हो गए उस जॉब को छोड़े हुए मुझे. जब मैं पीछे घूम के देखती हूँ तो मुझे पता है that single company employs about 1,000 women, and that is the pride, because I feel that a leader leads the way, shows the way, but most importantly, when you are leading, it is always going to be a difficult path. So somewhere you need to understand that पीछे आप जिनके लिए अपने कदमों के निशान छोड़ के जा रहे हो, जो आपको फॉलो करेंगे, उनके लिए आप एक आसान रास्ता बना के जाओ. So it might be difficult for you, but don't worry. I mean, I'm sure you are making a path that a lot of others are going to follow. So you need to have that fearlessness. You need to take that particular step. So after that, I stepped into entrepreneurship. That was new to me. So my father said, कि अरे तुम business करोगी? हमारे पूरे खानदान में किसी ने business नहीं किया. So I said, no, Dad, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. So my father said, वो क्या होता है? ये तो शब्द ही मुझे बोलना नहीं आ रहा है. And I'm so proud to say that today in my family, my father is the youngest entrepreneur. And he leads one of our most promising ventures, which is going to be the next big thing. So that's how life is. You know, you kind of show strength and then show passion. People who are close to you, people who look up to you, they will finally understand you if you're consistent in your efforts. When I stepped into politics, guess what? My mom said, कि अरे ये बच्ची कहीं हॉस्पिटल में बदल तो नहीं गई थी, हमारी वाली है कि कोई दूसरी है. So yet one day if I am not well and I'm at home, you know, I travel. My 1-year-old Innova has traveled about 1.5 lakh kilometers. One day if I sit back at home and I'm not feeling well, my mom turns around, calls me and says, अरे नेताजी घर पे क्यों बैठी हैं? आपको स्मृति ईरानी नहीं बनना है? So that's the aspiration that you set for yourself, and the people around you set that standard. Once you push the bar up, so I feel being fearless, having the strength and having the passion just pushes the bar up even for yourself as a woman, as a goal, as a go-getter, and that's critical. That's very, very important.
Absolutely. Shweta ji has been a pathbreaker everywhere that she went. Like she just told you that she was the first woman employee of the large company which had never considered hiring women, and now they hire thousands of women. Entrepreneur in India is anyway very nascent, but all those years ago, 2 IT companies that she started, which are both extremely successful, she obviously has exited. Then politics for women, a field which is known, I mean, it's scary for most people to think about, especially educated people. They don't even go out to vote, much less desire to be a politician. So she has been really burning the path for so many other people for whom it, like she says, it will be easier just because she did the hard part. But before we go into more of that, can we walk ourselves into the rapid fire round now, Shweta?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm more than excited.
So this is like, usually the questions are very frivolous. I've tried to be a little bit more decent with you. The only rule is that you have to be fast. Being accurate is also not needed. Just fast. Okay. If you were an animal, which one would you be?
I would be a giraffe.
Oh,
because it's nice to be tall and high and look at world from that perspective.
Yeah,
so, world from the top is a very, very different perspective.
Very interesting. कोई आपके कॉल कर रहा है?
या जी लगातार. बताएं.
If you weren't a politician, what would you be?
Yes, very, very interesting. If I weren't a politician, I would be a poet.
क्या बात है? Yes, I've read some of your beautiful poetry. Care to share something? थोड़ी सी line ही.
So my poetry is very instant. I don't. I would not love to talk about my poetry, but I would love to talk about poems that I love. And Ramdhari Singh Dinkar is something that I've looked up to from the very, very beginning. So I will recite a few lines from his poetry because I think a lot of people should learn from there. So one of my most favorite poetry is a book called Rashmi Rathi. उन्होंने एक बात लिखी है उसमें कि वसुधा का नेता कौन हुआ, भूखंड विजेता कौन हुआ. वसुधा का नेता मतलब पूरे विश्व का नेता कौन है, और नेता is not somebody who's a politician. It could be a leader, right? जिसने न कभी आराम किया, विघ्नों में रहकर नाम किया. जब विघ्न सामने आते हैं, सोते से हमें जगाते हैं, मन को मरोड़ते हैं पल पल, तन को झकझोरते हैं पल पल, पर सतपथ की ओर लगाकर ही जाते हैं हमें जगाकर ही. So basically, these challenges make you the real leader. So never fear challenges, and that's critical. आपको ये अलग प्रकार की प्रेरणा देती है. मुझे मैं पॉलिटिशियन नहीं होती तो 100% पोएट होती.
वाह, that would have been great as well. Maybe after retirement, other politicians में retirement होती है तो. And just to share one more thing about Shweta जी, वो एक तो सारे प्रकार के व्रत और उपवास पालती हैं, and then she puts in like a 20-hour work day in different cities. So I have seen her personally on the day of Hartalika Teej, Pune se Bombay ja karke attending all these high stress strategizing meetings, war room of the elections and all of that, and happily coming home to Pune, serving food to all of us and saying, "Mera to pass hai." Incredible. I think we have to also ask her where she gets her energy from. But continuing with our rapid fire, an embarrassing memory.
Embarrassing memory. Yes. So there is this journalist who asked me once in a public gathering, so in your house, do you wear the pants? Um, so I turned around and told him that unfortunately ऐसा है कि हम महिलाएं तो पैंट्स फिर भी पहन सकती हैं, बट आप लोग तो साड़ी नहीं पहन सकते. So I'm one of those who can wear the sarees, the high heels, and keep the standards as high as the heels and head as high as her standards. So yes, I could manage the embarrassing moment, but this is what happens. People try and put you in situations, uh, uh, especially because of your gender, because you're a woman, because you're in politics, and because they can take the freedom of asking you anything, freedom of speech. But one of the things that I've learned is, if there are questions, there are answers to every question. And if you are, आप अगर अपने आप से ईमानदार है ना, तो आप हर क्वेश्चन आंसर कर सकते हैं. So don't shy away from questions. Even if it's your internal question, just answer them. I mean, most often than not, हम अपने अंदर के questions answer नहीं कर पाते हैं.
Yes, in fact, the moment you said that, somehow I got reminded of Arjuna right in the middle of a battlefield. There's so much to be done. There's a war to be fought, and he's like, "Nahi, mujhe question hai." First question. That the way you said it just kind of reminded me of that. Okay, so your proudest moment.
The proudest moment is not yet come.
Okay.
Because
and
the proudest moment is going to be a moment when I can do something that my mom or my dad will make them cry. So अभी तक ऐसा moment नहीं आया है because I've got very very strong parents. So I'm waiting.
बट हम सब आपको सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं कि आप वहां पहुंचे. बिल्कुल. And last one, which I always love to ask, is something that you just can't stand. Disgust hota hai.
Yes. So, I want to say there are two ways that I'm going to answer this question. I actually can't stand stupidity. But this is what I want to say because, it disgusts me. but there is stupidity all around, right? So I will want to say this, but I will still not say this. What I will say is, what I can't stand is somebody downgrading women, somebody not considering you capable enough. What I can't stand is somebody only considering you as a woman, and not looking at you as substance, as a resource, as talent, as somebody who is capable of a lot, and so on and so forth. And of course, I count this into stupidity as well. But then the fact is, there are people around like this, and somehow You need to prove them wrong rather than getting up and fighting the battle by your words. It is important that you fight the battle by your actions. So that's been my rule, and I'm in a place where I should and I need to stand almost everything and everybody. So yes, that's the answer to your question.
Thank you so much. That was amazing, way better than I had even imagined. And I really wanted to interview you only for this Guruvar because Navratri is going on, and inside of me, I could not think of anybody who embodies the divine feminine, the way you do. What is your view about that?
See, I'm so sorry. See, one thing that we all need to understand as women is that we are blessed to be women. It's so amazing to have the hormones which create a woman, and I'll tell you why. See, I always tell entrepreneurs that you are blessed if you're a woman because multitasking comes naturally to women. Uh, when you're a politician, I told you that the moment I became a mother, selfless service became very, very natural to me, and that's what is important. I look up to Sushma ji, and I remember that when she died, people from all different political parties primarily said that she was like a motherly figure to me, and that's how a leader, a politician should be, because they need to. If you can't understand the pain of somebody, you will not care to do anything, and that's what comes naturally to being a woman. uh, Care, empathy, and the fact that you will take two extra steps extremely selflessly to serve people. So service comes very naturally to being a woman. And of course, if you're working, if you're an employee, the charm, the femininity of wielding your charm, and I always say this to salesmen and salespeople, that it is important to what is selling. Selling is the art of convincing somebody else that your product is perfect. And one of the first steps to learn selling is to sell yourself. And I always feel that it is always easier for women to learn this act because from the very beginning, we are wielding the charm to sell ourselves, our ideas, to convince people, to get them on our side, whether it's parents, it's mothers, it's children. We're always using this tact, this technique, this charm to ensure that they feel loved, and so on and so forth. So I feel the art, the craft, and the science of being a woman is something that, if understood, can be applied to every segment of the society and every sector of your work. The only simple fact is, somehow when women get into work, for example, when a woman becomes a policeman, when women come into politics, we don't have enough role models who are women.
Yes.
And that's the problem, because when you start looking up to role models who are men, you start following them unconsciously. And in your subconscious mind, you start converting your own strengths, which are inherent to you, into strengths which are not your own, which are very, very manly. And that's where you start losing the battle. So I feel the biggest strength, the biggest power, and that's why हम शक्ति की उपासना करते हैं, हम देवी की उपासना करते हैं, क्योंकि वो शक्ति आपके अंदर है, आपको बस उसे उजागर करना है. You are empowered. The only important thing is to understand that empowerment inside of you and empower yourself first. And I think that is precisely what is femininity. And that equals divinity. So every woman should understand that and use that to her benefit. And I think a lot of people wield that. People like you teach that. You're so proudly woman. You're so proudly feminine. And I'm so amazed with the work that you do with the people that you do. So that's precisely the point. Wherever you are, we are all contributing Even if it is bringing up children who are great. I mean, I think the best thing that my mom did was to bring up citizens who were proudly Indian.
Absolutely.
And that's precisely the point. You need to contribute, and we are contributing as women, and that is what true femininity is all about.
My God, it's so nice to hear you. Like my spine kind of became even more erect just listening to you, which is like a proof that what you're saying is in tune with my actual original reality. And it's kind of just the opposite of what Indira Nui was saying, right? That women can't have it all and all that. I mean, that's kind of droopy shoulders just to hear that.
Nay, Garima ji, tell me something. Who can have it all? Can men have it all?
Very
Nobody
good.
can have it all. Trust me. Priority, I always say this, priority is not about, uh, prioritizing your life. It is about prioritizing now. If
Yeah,
you are important to me right now, if talking to me right now, my priority is you. In the very next moment, my priority can be politics. The next moment, my priority can be children because they are going to be in front of me. So the fact of the matter is that nobody can have it all. So let's not just cry. Life is about, it's always about the transactions that we do and the trade-offs that we do. So nobody can have it all. You trade off your time, you trade off your energy, you trade off your sometimes your love of things. I mean, I would love to go home and relax, but I trade that off for the work that I do.
absolutely. Uh, so one more question, which is again very close to my heart, is that motherhood. You know, most of us, we get a college education, we start careers, and even maybe after we are married, we continue our career. But motherhood, we just treat it as a sign from nature that we have to now stop going out into the world as much as we could. How have you balanced, you know, if there are any tips that you've learned over the years? You're the mother of twin 12-year-olds now, boys.
Yes, see, motherhood is a 24 by 7 by 365 days work. And you need to understand, and I told you that I'm a woman first, a mother second. So I always remember that before I'm a politician, before I'm an entrepreneur, before I'm anything else, I'm a mother. And that is something that every woman should need to understand if she chooses to be a mother. So motherhood is something which is not a responsibility, it's a choice. You made a choice. I made a choice of bringing two lives into my own life. And hence, for me, it is 100% a choice of creating clones of myself who are better than me. So uh, I just said it that my mom made me everything that she was, and she wasn't. So for me, if they don't turn out to be better than what I am, I think my job's not done, and it's
Talk
not
about
done well.
pressure, Shweta.
And so 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 you need to understand this, that for every mother and for every woman who chooses to be a mother, it should not come to you as a responsibility, it should come naturally to you. You should love your children because your children just need your love, nothing else. They are individuals. Give them space, give them respect, treat them as as your equals. But do not forget that you are a parent and you need to show them the way. You need to give them confidence. मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ गरिमा जी कि मेरे पिताजी ने दूध में बोर्नविटा की जगह कॉन्फिडेंस मिला के पिलाया. And that is the only thing as parents you can give to your children. What you can really give to your children is the confidence of them saying that, yes, I can go out into the world just because I have a strong backing of somebody who will hold me when I fall and ensure that I get up every time I fall. So precisely that is motherhood.
Okay. So, anything, a last message that you would like to give out, especially to the youth?
See, one of my strongest message for the youth is that it is the youth that is going to make the future of this country. If we are taking the dream of Sri Narendra Modi forward of making India the next superpower, then on whose shoulder is this dream going to stand? It is going to be the youth. So there are three things that I always say. One, if you are young, you can contribute. Please contribute towards building your country. Second, it is critical for us to understand that change is important, but so are the change makers. When you say change, unfortunately, we feel that, yes, I need change, but that person is going to change my life. Yes. It doesn't happen that way. You have to change your own life. So it is very, very critical that when you point that one finger, the other four fingers that's pointing towards you, look at them, because you need to start first. So we need today youth in this country who says that yes, we need change, but I will make that change. Yeah. And last but not the least, I think the youth need to understand that it is important for us to give an hour towards philanthropy. Philanthropy in our country is just about check philanthropy, and it's precisely not your money. In fact, it is your skill, it is your time. If you are not strengthening your society, if you are not strengthening the people around you, if you are not doing anything for your own community, if you're not doing anything for your area, if you're not doing anything for your country, you should cease to exist in this country. This is what will give you the pride, and hence give half an hour, give 1 hour of your time, your skill set, your energy, your resources towards building up the community that you live in. And that's precisely what we need in our country today. Youth who are not only empowered, but youth who are sensitized towards giving, not giving back, but giving for yourself, giving your time, giving your skill set. And that is the youth that I see now coming up. You know, I had started this program called Village Social Transformation Foundation. I had started this program called VSTF, where we had adopted about 1,000 villages. And these 1,000 villages were villages where we wanted to transform the entire villages under the Sustainable Development Goals given by the United Nations. I decided to appoint one young youth in each village to ensure that they make that change. They are the catalyst to change, and they become the change makers. I just adopted about 1,000 villages, and in the first go, I was looking for 200 villages to be piloted. So I started looking for 200 young girls and boys who could make this change, who could, cross over. And they had to live in the village for 18 months. I took out an advertisement for calling out about 200 such young people. Guess what? I got about 4,000 applications. Wow. 4,000 young girls and boys from 20 to 24-year-olds decided. They were doctors, they were engineers, they were MCAs, they were, MSWs. They decided that I'm going to take a sabbatical and go and live in the village to make that change. I want to be a change maker. So yes, we are very, very hopeful because India's youth today is sensitized towards making the change. And that gives me the pride of being in India during these times, because these are amazing times for anybody to be in India. We are a generation which is going to see that amazing change, because we are the generation which is going to be responsible for building the future of India that the world is going to be proud of. So congratulations to you and congratulations to me.
Thank you. On that really high note, that this is a great time to be in India, where the transformation is happening with all the right energies. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving us so much of your time, your passion, your energy, and we hope that it rubs off on us. And we pray for your for achieving your dream.
थैंक यू सो मच गरिमा जी, थैंक यू सो मच। आप हैं और गाना ना हो ऐसा तो होना नहीं चाहिए। आई वाज होपिंग दैट यू कुड सिंग अ कपल ऑफ लाइंस फॉर अस बिफोर वी
यूजुअली मैं
क्लोज दिस।
उल्टा करती हूँ, आई गेट माई गेस्ट्स टू सिंग।
सो दैट मीन्स आप सिंगर गेस्ट ला रही हैं।
नहीं,
मेरा एक बहुत प्रिय गाना है, वो गा दीजिए। मेरा सबसे प्रिय गाना है जिंदगी हंस के बिताएंगे,
yes.
हाले दिल गा के सुनाएंगे।
हम तो सात रंग हैं, ये जहां रंगी बनाएंगे।
थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू गरिमा जी, इट वाज सो मच फन।
थैंक यू सो मच श्वेता जी।